Welcome to my Slayer guide on how to AFK Greater Demon, Berserker, and Ash Lords. Keep in mind, you could also theoretically AFK this, it's just you will need to click and target the next monster since they do have a large amount of health. As for the requirements, you only need one Slayer, and then you'll actually need to get a Greater Demon Slayer assignment, in which case, if you want the Slayer XP, you can do this. Now, let's take a look at the items needed. And the screen might be a little too small, so just bear with me. And here we go. So you'll want some super restores, overloads. A total of 10 doses will last you an hour. Some magic notepaper, because they do drop dragon spears and then the necro salvage, in which case you could bring high alchs. You want some cannonballs, some sharks to set this up, an Excalibur just in case you run out of sharks, and then teleport runes for tele other, which is just telegram, my bad. It requires one air rune and one wall rune. This is so you can stay in the safe spot. And a fun fact, the Demon Slayer gloves and boots for 8 additional damage on demons does not work for these because I think these demons are too high tier class. And you can bring a screenshot of sacrifice. Just keep in mind, this costs 4 mil and it lasts 1 hour. As for the gear, you'll want pretty much, well, higher gear the better, but remember this is safe spottable, so if you can, augment your gear with the Demon Slayer perk, and we'll be using mechanized chinchompas. And a Luck of the Dwarfs, just so we get that enhanced drop. And then the pocket slot, again, you can do the scrimshaw of sacrifice or the scripture of jazz, which is about like 11 millish, in which case we bring it for the DPS stats. Now, to actually get to the boss. So, make your way to the War's Retreat, and you want to tune one of your portals to the Dragonkin Laboratory. From here, we want to go west, in which case there's someone already here in the safe spot. Well, okay, I'll have to hop worlds to, let me see, what's another UK world? Okay, I'll hop to world 23. Usually people aren't here, but because of how good this is, I think it will be crowded more afterwards. And keep in mind, going through here is in the wilderness, so you want to opt out of PvP. And there's one more issue. Sometimes, because of this method, there will be a demon always on you because they have a huge aggro, in which case you want to run north to the obelisk and then teleport to level 27 or less so you can teleport out, because this is pretty much a one-way ticket. Now, to get started, pray magic, and we'll be wanting to run. Someone else is here. Oh geez, a lot of other people. Okay, I'll be back once I find a spot because, oh, well, see, that's what I was saying, like they aggro so far and you can't get out because they're on you. So I'll be back once I do find a world. Okay, there we go. After a lot of world hops, I guess this is a very popular method now. But let's go in, enter the building, overload, and pray magic. You'll want to run about right here-ish and set up your dwarf cannon. And then keep an eye on, since I have 2 berserkers, just pray melee. Now that we're here, run to this tile, and then let your revolution just attack. Now, I don't actually have a revolution bar setup for range, so you'll just have to find your way, or just put like all the thresholds at the very beginning along with dead shot. And then dead shot is very good because I do have the basic Zuck cape. And you will want to stand right at this tile. It may be a little hard to see at this rock right here. If you're here, it will actually aggro incorrectly, and I'll show you why later. So just go to this exact spot. Basically, what the Chinchompas do is, as you're killing one target, if it's to the south or west, you will damage it by its AoE passive. So basically, like right now, by the time this one is almost dead, the other's practically dead too within seconds later. Although you just want to target that and wait for it to, I guess, aggro on you so you don't really move out of the safe spot. Now that he's dead, you can attack, and now we wait. The Greater Demon Berserkers give the most amount of Slayer XP and combat, which for me it seems to be roughly about 14,000, although some kills it did average up. Now, I'm not sure why that is. And then right here, notice south of me that Ash Lord automatically gets stuck behind, well, I guess you can say like this giant flat rock, in which case it works perfectly. And then this is how you safe spot this one as well. So the safe spot does 2 Berserkers and 1 Ash Lord all at the same time. Granted, you do need to have a dwarf cannon. Having the siege does not matter. It's just the siege does a little extra damage, so maybe in 1 hour you might get like 1 or 2 kills more. And we are close enough for the restocking to work for the dwarven cannon, so we don't have to leave the safe spot for 24 minutes. At the 25th minute mark, your cannon will actually be broken, and you'll need to pick it up later. So let's say there's like 2 minutes left of the cannon. What you can do is pray melee, click on your cannon, and it will renew the 25-minute timer, and then just simply go back to the spot, and you're free to kill these for 25 minutes. And then, I mean, that's about it. The Slayer XP to the combat XP is almost a 1-to-1 rate. For whatever reason, the combat XP on these does vary. Some kills I get 14k, others I get 15.2k. It's just very weird on them. I guess they restore health, but I mean, you kind of kill them like not too quickly, so I'm not sure what that is about. And again, if you are using the scrimshot of Sacrifice, you will be getting 50% more combat XP per hour along with Slayer. And speaking of the XP rates, if you're doing this without the scrimshot, you can expect to get 815,000 range XP, or defense if you opt into that. For the Slayer, the same thing. You can get 815k XP per hour in Slayer. The defense, it could push to about 830, but again, it's kind of weird how sometimes they give you different amount of health each time. And there we go. Once you get a good item, you want to telegrab it, and now you're free to attack the Demon Ash Lord. Actually, okay, I guess Death Runes are pretty expensive too. I'll pick that up. And then I also did bring High Alps as well, so this way you can stay here longer while you are killing them. And then if you are using the scrimshot of Sacrifice, you will be getting no drops. However, you'll be getting 1.2 mil experience in both combat and Slayer XP as well. I mean, that's about it. It's very, very enjoyable. I love doing this task because, I mean, I don't really care about the XP too much, but you can kind of AFK it, and they're pretty fast in my opinion. Although this Ash Lord, I only found a way to aggro one of them and then successfully trap it, usually by how their pathing goes. The Berserkers, there might be a way to target 3, but again, this just makes your life so much easier to do. And with that comes the wrap. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, as it really does help. And then you could comment down if this method has helped you. And it's very good for Iron Man because you can get a lot of good money, as those Ash Lords drop those high alchables fairly common. The Berserkers, it doesn't drop too much. I was maybe getting about 3 high alks from them every hour. The Ash Lord, I was getting about 7 an hour. And speaking of that, you can kill a total of 40 Berserkers and 18 Ash Lords an hour. With that, thank you all so much for watching this guide on how to AFK the Greater Demon Berserker and Ash Lords.